Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. I'm your host, Pete Pardo, publisher and CEO of SOT. I'm actually recording this video for the third time now, and I'm getting to the point where I'm almost, if this one doesn't come out good, I'm not going to do it. Because the first time we had an audio problem, so thanks for all of you guys for chiming in real quick and saying, Pete, there's no audio, it's just all this static. I don't know what happened there. The second time I got halfway through the video and the phone rang, and even though I don't keep the phone in the office, of course, it was the pharmacy and it's a recording, and they decided to leave this really long robot message, of course, which, it's like, all right, can't do this, so scrap that. So here we are again. Hopefully the phone doesn't ring, the roof doesn't cave in, the dogs don't start barking, the audio is good, all that kind of stuff. So today we are talking about Neal Morse's latest solo album, Jesus Christ the Exorcist, a progressive rock musical by Neal Morse. So for those of you who have been following Neal Morse, one of the most prolific progressive rock musicians, singers, songwriters of the last 25 years. Of course, he got his start in Spock's Beard, very prolific and popular band throughout the 90s. He eventually, at the beginning of the 2000s, decided to leave Spock's Beard, follow his spiritual and musical path as a solo artist, became a born-again Christian. Has released this is the 8th studio album, or solo studio album from Neal Morse. Since he left Spock's Beard. In addition to that, he's got the Neal Morse Band, which is his group that he's got with a few guys on this album, and Mike Portnoy on drums, ex of Dream Theater, also currently with other bands. He's also in Flying Colors with Mike Portnoy. He also does Transatlantic with Mike Portnoy. So, Neal Morse, you can find him anywhere. He's been kind of one of the figureheads of modern prog for a long time. So, again, I mentioned this is his 8th solo release. It's a double disc set concept album, big bombastic rock opera type of thing. Think Arion, think Avantasia, that sort of thing. Traditional sounding prog, a lot of prog metal on here. Got some pop hooks on here. You got hard rock and classic rock, kind of all kind of Broadway spectacle, that whole thing. I mean, this was meant to come across as a musical, as a rock opera type of thing. And you've got a whole bunch of guys helping Neal out. So this is like an all-star collaboration, so a lot of different singers. That's why I mentioned the Arion and the Avantasia thing before. A lot of guest musicians and singers. So who do we got on here? Let me show you the booklet first of all. So there's the cover. All right, you got all the lyrics, all the singers playing different parts in the story of Jesus Christ. And of course you got this new twist, you got all sorts of demons and devils taking part in this and what have you. So who do we got in here? And forgive me, the typing on this is microscopic, so there's some names and stuff I just can't friggin' make out, so I'm going to do the best I can. So Ted Leonard plays Jesus. Ted Leonard, of course, the current lead vocalist for Spock's Beard. You've got Talon David, it looks like, plays Mary Magdalene. You got Nick DiVirgilio playing Judas. Nick, of course, former drummer vocalist for Spock's Beard. He also plays with Big Big Train, Blue Man Group. You've got Rick Florian plays the devil. You got Matt Smith plays John the Baptist. You got Jake Livorin plays Peter. Neal Morse himself, Pontius Pilate, Demon 1 and Disciple 1. Mark Pogue plays a bunch of folks on here I can't even read what roles he's doing, and then Will Morse, I don't know, Gabe Klein, George, I can't read the other names, playing various demons and other characters. The musicians is basically the main musicians on the album. The main band here is basically the Neal Morse Band minus Mike Portnoy on drums. So you've got Neal on guitars, listed number 1 as guitars. Neal's a hell of a guitar player. If you haven't listened to any of his solo stuff, he's a hell of a guitar player. He's mostly known as being a keyboard player. Really good guitarist. Guitars, keyboards, bass, and percussion. You got Paul Biblowitz, I think that is, on guitars. You got Bill Hubauer on keyboards. Bill is also in the Steve Morse Band. You've got Eric Gillette, the lead guitar player for the Steve Morse Band, here listed as drums and guitars. Multi-talented, I guess. So he's taking Portnoy's place on this. And Randy George on bass, the great Randy George on bass, who's been playing with Neal for a long time, both in the Neal Morse Band and solo. So basically, again, it's basically no Mike Portnoy, Eric Gillette moving from lead guitar to drums, and then Paul Biblowitz, or whatever his name is, and Neal Morse mostly on guitars but those three guys are probably sharing the guitar duties. And then you got various other people on, violins, viola, horns and reeds and extra vocals and all that sort of thing. So what's the music sound like? Let me take a breath from all that. Trying to get through this video so nothing else happens, because this particular album seems plagued today. On my third time trying to get this done. The music is very bombastic and kind of Broadway-ish, rock opera-ish. I mean, that's, it's called a progressive rock musical for a reason. That's how it comes across. So it mixes like, modern prog with a little bits of prog metal and some hard rock and classic rock and pop hooks and all that, like kind of film score-ish. It's just kind of like all those things. If you like these kind of like, all-star collaborations, with a storyline where everybody's singing different parts and it's just it just comes across like a Broadway musical, right? With like prog arrangements, for lack of a better term. I dig it, and you got 2 discs. There's a total of 22 tracks. Got some musical passages that kind of repeat throughout and what have you. The vocals are outstanding. It's just a very engaging album. Again, I'm not going to kind of pick out tracks because again, I'm only on like number 6 listen here. It's a lot to take in. I haven't sat down really heavy with the lyrics, and I'm not really a lyric guy, so I generally don't do that anyway. But I think for a lot of you, you're probably going to want to sit and go along with the lyrics in the booklet, and kind of really start to pick out which singer is playing what role, and how the storyline kind of goes through here. But it's really pleasing on the ears. That's the important thing. So you put it on, you're going to want to play the whole thing through and through. It's not a kind of play one disc and go away and get to the next. You want to kind of hear the whole thing. And it's pretty engaging, like I said. And it's on Frontiers Records. Okay, came out late 2019. Again, another one of those, or mid-2019, something like that. Again, here we are in mid-January trying to play catch-up on some of the major releases that came out last year that we didn't quite get to. So that's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. And this is one of the last few, I think, that I'm still trying to get caught up on. And then we're going to get back into current 2020 stuff. So, Jesus Christ, The Exorcist. Sounds weird. Jesus Christ, The Exorcist. from Neal Morse. I was going to say the Neal Morse Band. No, Neal Morse and Company. Okay, solo album. I dig it. This for me, an easy 4 out of 5 stars, maybe a little higher. All right, but again, I'm still kind of digesting it. But I like it. I'm a fan of Neal. I love. This is a little different than some of his previous solo albums. It's not just all him on vocals. He's sharing it with a lot of other guys. So it's not as kind of Neal Morse dominated from a vocal perspective like we're used to, but the feel is there. It's all Neal, the songwriting and all that kind of stuff. So I dig it. I like his songwriting. I love the hooks that are always in his music, no matter what band he's in. I love his keyboard style. He's a decent guitar player too. So this is good. Check it out if you haven't. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on the mighty YouTube all the damn time. What do we got coming up, you might be asking? Coming up next, we're going to be getting some snow here in New York today, along the East Coast, actually. So I'm just going to be sitting here doing videos all day long for you guys. Next up, I'm going to show you some of my favorite Roger Dean album cover artwork. All right, on CD, of course, because I don't have the whole piece. But I think you get the picture. So what I've done is I picked out a nice stack of some of my favorites. He's done a lot more, but I picked out some of my more favorite ones. I'm missing a couple here and there, but I think these are kind of like the bulk of the ones I like the best. I didn't want to just do every single one. And we've also got, coming up today as well, worst to best albums from one of my favorite bands of all time, Black Sabbath. You don't want to miss that one, all right? So stay tuned, and we'll see you momentarily. Bye-bye.